Are we live?
We are live
from the Whiskey Expo.
Welcome, everybody.
Cheers, gentlemen. Wait a minute, before we drink this, what do we have?
Hey, do any of you out there know what our #1 Scotch is? The one Scotch has gotten 4 4s.
Everybody knows what it is.
Well, that's this. This is the King Alexander.
4, baby.
So,
the 4.
And it's
Dalmore
awesome.
King Alexander III.
Our first guest is going to be on in a
Cheers.
few minutes, and he decided to start us off with the King.
Cilantro.
Cheers to you guys.
This is awesome, guys.
Much needed to start the show, boys. I'm excited. We got a lot of stuff going on.
So we have a lot of stuff on the agenda tonight.
Well, here we are, right? We've been talking about this for
Weeks and weeks,
3 months.
Yeah.
And you know, it's time. We've got some special guests coming on.
Yeah, we do. I need to get that agenda up here in front of me just to go over that. But we've got a lot going on. We've got people coming on in the next 10 minutes.
We've got whiskey, world whiskeys. We've got scotches. We have other YouTubers. We've got it all coming on.
Plus, you get all 4 of us.
Well, you know, what else do we really need?
Actually, I think what should be said is we get all of you, because it's everybody that makes the show for us. So we're really hoping that a lot of our regular subscribers that we see on Thursday night, I hope you guys chime in and stay as long as you can. Actually, we should be surprised by one of our subscribers here in a little while.
I bet he's here right now outside.
He's waiting out
having a
outside.
glass ready for us, because the VIP actually isn't open yet, right?
Yeah,
Right,
so
we're still
not
not
yet.
a few minutes.
We're still a little early.
So it's going to be a lot louder.
Yeah, so all that background noise you hear, that's just the vendors. We've got 65 tables in here with 10 to 12 scotches each or whiskeys each. There's hundreds of whiskeys here. Beautiful. Is that Telex? No, it's Whiskey Day.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Bill?
Bill, how you
Bill's
doing,
on?
buddy?
We got
The
somebody
Whiskey
drinking the
guys,
King.
part of the
Bills.
Whiskey Fabric.
Jess?
Thanks for joining us, sir.
Jez is drinking that.
Absolutely.
King
Cheers.
Alexander's
Count nice.
We're,
the King.
We're pushing the Whiskey Dick channel. We've got all the fabric stuff lined out on the table, so that'll be
Let me
cool.
grab one of those.
It's going to be an interesting night. There's a lot of different kinds of stuff represented here. Like Andrew said, we've got world whiskeys. We've got there's some gins and some local
Some
product.
cognacs.
Yeah, actually cognac's getting big, so there's
rum, I think,
some
as
of that.
There's
a lot
actually
of bourbons.
a few wines. I think there's actually some mixing going on, and
Yeah,
there's
There's
somebody
a
making
snow cone
cocktails
machine
here.
where you can put some liqueurs on snow cones.
Yeah.
Man, it's all there.
Yeah, we probably won't be hitting that.
No, yeah.
probably don't have time for all that.
It's going to be a crazy night.
So who do we have on either side of us tonight? I know we've got Deanston and Boonhaven and
All good.
So yeah, Deanston,
We got
Gunnahan
Glenn
here,
Dronick,
Ben
big
Rick,
time.
and
Yes. Ben Riak over here.
Glenn Dronick.
So Brown Foreman.
Brown Former next to us. So interesting one on that Ben Rick. There's a 17 peated, which I know we all loved the 17 solstice.
It was awesome.
So I think we're gonna have to get our hands on that.
Yes.
But hello, Mr. HGK from Sweet.
Nice.
Damn, man. Awesome.
We love that you guys are already logging on.
I know.
So take your time on your scotch today, because we're going to be
It's going to
online
be a
for a long
long
time.
night. 4 hours
Yeah.
straight. We're going to have 15-minute increment breaks in between if we can. But other than
Right.
that, it's 4 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button now, because then you'll get the next notification, because we were actually going to have a hard break for our break, and so there'll be a whole new stream
Yep.
for the next segment of the
But
show.
every time we start up, we're starting with an ambassador.
Yep, we
And
got
we're
to
starting with some new stuff that we
Good
have not tried.
Absolutely.
We've got an ambassador from Glenmorangie that we're going to be talking to.
And we've never reviewed one of those.
No, we haven't.
No, we have not. Right.
We're going to be doing some world whiskeys. So we've got a little something from India. We're gonna be doing
some from India. We have I was just talking to the vendor or the rep this morning or this afternoon, so I guess. That he's also got some independent bottlers that we've never seen before. And these independent bottlers are like one guy. So he has great selection of casks and has a few kind of blends that he does on his own. That is going to be neat.
It's going to be a good night, guys.
Well, we're all dressed up in our
I know.
t-shirts and jackets.
Look
So
at this. Representing a little love and little blazers, look a little sharp.
So last year we all had the Scotch for Dummies polos, and we kind of looked like we were trying to raise money for.
I think we're more like installing some kind of system somewhere.
Right.
We're IT guys.
Khakis and polos.
Khakis
right?
and polos. But this year we're dressed
So we
up.
amped it up a little bit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, last year was good. I got totally ripped by the end of the night, but I mean,
wow.
how many whiskeys did we drink?
You know,
right?
it doesn't hurt that you build a rapport with some of these guys, and they're willing to bring out the good stuff for you. So I'm a big fan of that. but we've got some interesting people we're going to talk to. I wish we could wander you guys through the room because there's such cool stuff.
We could turn the camera on.
So
No, we're not.
We're going to mess something up. We'll
I'm
start
gonna mess
messing
up.
with it.
So, but it's basically we can describe the room as how many tables are here, guys? Probably 20.
Well, in
in
our
this room alone.
well, there's over 100 tables here at the expo.
Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
so.
60 tables.
But there's
Is
two to three large rooms. We are in the VIP room. Is that correct?
No, well, this is the smallest of the
Smallest
two
of the two.
rooms,
Okay.
yeah. Just because we got the quiet corner, as
Right.
quiet as we can get.
So the VIP isn't an area; it's a time limit.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
the,
true.
The VIP
So all
starts
the
at 5
all the tables are pouring their good stuff
Right.
from 5 o'clock, which is coming right up, right?
till
5
6:30.
to 6:30, and then after that they put away all of the VIP high end stuff.
All right,
And,
all right. Let's start off fresh and see what do you guys get. Somebody asked us give the notes on the King. He's drinking King with us. So, by the way, Aaron, I think we've done this. I don't know if we've done the Regal 18. I thought we had.
Shows
I don't-
18. We have
I don't
not.
think we
We
have.
haven't.
We've
Well,
not done
it is
18.
here. I know that for a fact. But what do you guys get out of the King
Everything's
tonight?
here.
So
I get
just
heaven.
those deep ruby fruits, the cherries, the plums.
Yeah,
all
I get a
that
lot
A
of
great-
hint
plum.
of
That's-
even a hint of like smoke a little bit. A little
To me,
peat
of
almost.
the
Tiny bit.
non-peated, this is
To me, it's just
It's the
a
peat.
deep, rich Scotch. It's got a lot of good stuff going on. I get a lot of that plum. You get that like
Yeah, it's a
tartness with
deep,
the
deep
sweet,
plum.
but it's got a lot of the other ruby fruits. I think cherries and so pitted fruits.
if you get down deep in there, you get a little chocolate notes on the back end.
Yeah, but it's got almost a really super caramelized sugar note too. Not like a molassesy kind of thing, but like a really
That's some
fine
orange
caramel.
into it as well.
I definitely get a little orange
Yeah.
peel.
yeah. So I mean, you know, the nice thing about this Scotch, and the reason that I think that we've given it such high marks in the past is it's got such depth of flavor with all of the casks that they use to age the
And
Scotch.
what is that again? 6?
There's 6 different cascades.
Right.
And you pull different notes out of it as you're drinking.
It evolves. It really
So
does.
every sip you take is a little bit different. It's got similar things going on, but there's always a new note to pick up.
And the thing that I think really put it over the top for a perfect score from us was that you had all those flavors that really balanced and married well.
That's the
Because
thing.
there are some scotches, guys, where you get 3 different tastes, and it's like taste 1, stop. Taste 2.
Yep.
These they just dance together and blend together.
Well, and really, the price isn't outrageous. You know,
It's a $200 bottle. Give or
yeah,
take.
you can pull a 25-year-old Scotch that'll be absolutely amazing, but you're going to spend some money to get it.
Right.
You know, whereas for a little over $200, depending on what market you're in, you can pick one of these up, and it's very approachable. I don't feel bad about spending the money on it.
Yeah, we got a couple people online from Europe, which is great because
Scott
normally
from Scotland.
we do our live
Tell you
feeds, at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which puts it like
That's
4 a.m. But Hoagie's on,
Yeah, so
Scott's on, and
yeah.
To the show.
Casper's on, which is good. I haven't seen him
Scott,
before.
we're going to have Aqvavitae on here shortly, and he'll be tuning in from Glasgow. So,
yeah.
I think you might be scrolling now if you're okay.
So can you see how many we got online right now?
So Ben, the King Alexander III versus Macallan Rare Cask.
Every day,
King
on
Alexander.
10 times on Sunday, man.
You know,
15,
we were
15 on.
Not even a hesitation.
we were excited about the Macallan Rare. I got a sweetheart deal on the bottle when it first came out, and we were really excited about it. And the bottle itself was awesome, but I think a lot of the effort went into the marketing and not necessarily into the Scotch.
Right.
It wasn't as impressive. Not that it was bad, but to compare the two, this is a much richer, deeper, fuller Scotch than the Rare Cask was.
I mean, arguably that may be the best Macallan we've had, but
I don't
it just
know.
doesn't
I
go.
don't. I don't agree with that. We
Okay.
had another
We had a fine
Macallan. There was a Macallan. Was that 15?
fine note.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Pretty
bad.
good.
It wasn't bad.
that was
Still-
all right.
Yeah.
I guess we probably need to go back to it now. I mean, I think the best thing I liked about that Rare Cask was the bottle.
Yeah, and you know what?
Bottle
To be
was-
fair though, it has been a minute since we've had that, and
Like
that was
a year.
earlier in our reviews too. So
Right.
probably wouldn't hurt. There's a few bottles I'm sure we should go back and re-review. To be honest.
I almost guarantee it. And actually, I think that we should probably look through our first maybe 50 videos and look at some of the ones that we reviewed and maybe pick some highlighted ones to go back and re-review.
I think a good idea would actually be to put a poll up and say, pick, out of the
that's
other
a great
reviews we've
idea.
done, pick, let's poll the audience. What ones do you want us to re-review first, and we'll make that a priority.
You know what's funny about it though? Every time we do a live show, somebody's like, "Have you had XYZ?" And there's always scotches that we're like, "Yeah, we haven't touched that
Sometimes,
yet."
Pick your favorite
always
whiskey in
more stuff
20
to go back
seconds.
to.
If there was
So-
one that I had to live with the rest of my life, I'd probably say Lagavulin 16. Hey, Scott. Hey, by the way, guys, I'm going to hop off because I'm going to go get our first guest.
You got
All
it?
right, cool.
Great.
So we got people coming. We're going to be in and out.
I mean,
doing
nuts,
stuff all
guys.
Yeah,
night.
so-
Enough people coming in right now. for the
Test dummies
VIP.
are on, so we're good
Yeah.
on
So
that.
Scott,
Scott,
hey,
good
let's
to
see
see
how
you.
the audio is. We've been messing around with it. It's going to start getting louder and louder.
People
because
are in.
people are starting to come in now for the VIP
Yep.
treatment. So it's going to get louder. But hopefully we've got the mic positioned well enough so that we're loud enough and it offsets the background noise. But it is what it is, guys. Hopefully it's going to work out fine. But let me know if you would in the comments how it sounds.
It's going to be an interesting live feed.
Yeah, so this is going to be different than our normal live feeds because normally we're in a controlled environment. We've got an agenda, Mark's there, and we've got a set time where it's a
Oh, we got an
hour.
agenda.
Oh,
But what you're going to see here today is much more interactive. We're going to be coming and going. You're going to see people coming in, and if we're lucky, we might get some viral comments here. It's something
Hey.
that makes us.
Scott says to turn the game down.
All right. You got it?
Sure.
Yep. Crowd noise is starting to build up.
all right. We'll see what happens with this. And
Hopefully, you'll be able to
hopefully
hear
it gets
us.
a little
We'll
better.
give that a shot, but yeah, it's going to be an adjustment all night, and as the evening wears on and people sample a little more, I think that we're going to maybe get a little bit louder conversations.
There's not
possibly.
even anybody at the tables right near us yet. So
No,
No.
yeah. But equally, I think it's going to be. I think this is probably going to be normal, maybe a little bit louder.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conversations going on. There's a lot of booze here to try. So,
yes.
no, we are not wearing makeup tonight. Well, I'm not anyway. I don't know about you guys.
He did. He
Did you
put some
powder up a
some
little bit?
A
foundation.
little powder,
You don't
I
want to be
painted
too
my
bright,
hair
you
on,
know
so
what I mean? Painted my hair on.
I didn't do a very good job, obviously. What do we got here? Yes, we tried Kuboken. We tried the original Kuboken. Not any limited, though. Is that limited the one with the yellow flames on it? I don't remember if that was the one. But there it is.
Oh, second
Oh, yeah,
Kuboken.
second
yeah,
Kuboken.
Yeah.
That's right.
That we need to get at Biddy.
Which would be awesome.
Oh, good. Thank you, Scott. Sounds like it might have been better for the game down. Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
OJ for hire. Good to see you, Raymaster. Thanks for joining on.
So,
Yeah, good to see you guys. Now, as we go forward, guys, we've got the iPad here with some comments, so we're doing our best to kind of respond to you. But I can promise you, as we go on tonight, it's going to be harder and harder to reply to some of these comments. We'll do our best. We're going to have a couple of dummies on and off doing some stuff, but it's going to have ambassadors. We're going to have guests coming in. Have Scott from the Test Dummies, and hopefully Bart will be joining us later. And so as we go forward, we'll do our best to answer. I know Scott, Whiskey 6, and Aqvavitae will be on. They'll be answering the comments as well. But I think it's a good segue actually to introduce our next ambassador. I'm going to head out. You guys got this one?
All right.
Welcome to the show. Thank you.
We'll put you in the
Come
center.
on back. Come on back.
Right in the middle there. All right. So I did bring a few things for you guys for your own reference. So
Awesome.
you guys can have some goodies.
We love goodies.
Plus, if you travel a lot, you gotta have some playing cards.
Oh, yeah.
Jura,
Oh, yeah.
Jura playing cards.
See the kind of good swag we get out of this deal? It's awesome.
I'm sure you guys get one or two for sure.
So let us introduce you. So we're on live. We're running already on live.
How we doing,
This is
guys?
Ben Boice. Tell us about yourself. What brings you to Indianapolis today?
The highway. The highway.
Long drive. Eh?
Long drive. So I came in from Chicago, obviously not too far away, just kind of a hip and a skip away from Indianapolis. But today I'm here to work with the White Mackay portfolio, tasting some of our new whiskeys, which is going to be like, for example, our blended malt whiskey, which is Shackleton.
Yes.
Some new expressions from Jura 10, which was released earlier this year, as well as touch on some of our great luxury options, especially during our VIP section. We're talking about King Alexander, which is the only single malt in Scotland that uses 6 distinctly different gas finishes, and also Cigar Malt, which is the only single malt in the world that is designed specifically for a good cigar.
And it's the only one we haven't seen.
I know. That's the only one we haven't done.
And it's been on our list for a minute, so we're going to get to that one.
We'll definitely have to spend some time enjoy a dram.
Indeed. I think that sounds like a great idea.
So, but I brought a little treat today. I thought I'd just let this sit here in front of you and you can stare at it for a little
What's
bit.
that? What do we got here?
So this is a little dram of Dalmore 25. This is one of our beauties. This is going to be 4 different barrel maturations. Usually retails around $1,200 a bottle.
Wow. $100 a bottle. Well, I'm gonna clean this glass.
And of course, I brought my own glass because I'm a seasoned alcoholic in that sense.
You know what you're doing. It's great.
It's all right. It's all right.
So, how common is the Dalmore 25? Is it readily available?
It is if you look in the right markets.
Fair enough.
If you look in the right markets. It's not something you can go to your general liquor store and you're going to find it. You'll generally have to go to your high-end boutique place that's looking for, you're looking for very specific. You got to kind of get with them. They got to go to the distributor or reach out to me directly to make sure that we actually get those out to you.
Okay. So how many bottles are there roughly running around the United States?
Oh, easily about 5,000.
Okay.
Okay.
So
It's not impossible. It's just
No,
a matter
not
of
at all.
having the money and talking to the right people.
Exactly.
So
Fair enough.
It's
So is
still
this
a relatively new product, and a lot of people are, because it is $1,200, people generally don't keep it in their stores unless you're in major metropolitan areas like
Right.
Chicago, New York, San Francisco, LA. And your smaller communities like Indianapolis, you won't see it as much, but it is out there. It is out there, no, for sure.
So it's a possibility. That's always
Exactly,
a good thing.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm kind of interested in the whole deal. So is this
So this is a
natural color?
So Richard Patterson does add just a little bit of color, but there's a reason why we add color: consistency. And especially in Scotland and in Canada, you generally add color because you're using second to third, fourth, sometimes fifth barrel finishes. So you'll have the flavors, but you won't necessarily get the color as much. So adding just a touch of color will obviously kind of give it that beautiful, consistent elegance across the board.
Right.
So this one is actually going to be a 25-year-old whiskey. It's about 25 to 30-year-old whiskey in this particular batch. This is actually going to be finished in 4 different types of casks. So it starts its life off in ex-bourbon casks, then it goes into 3 different casks. One of them Poheretta quart pipe barrels. These are 25-year-old tawny quart barrels.
Okay.
We're also going to be putting those into ex-bourbon casks. These are going to be a first fill ex-bourbon cask from 1980. And we're also using a very specific, very rare type of sherry cask called the Palomino Fino, which traditionally is a Tio Pepe type or very dry sherry. But in this case, we actually took the grapes and actually dried them out like they would if it was a cream style sherry. So they dried them out to a raisin consistency, pressed it, and let it sit for about 25 years. Now there were only 3 barrels made, period. So this was an experiment that they had, and it was apparently so good that they didn't even make it to bottle. So they drank it on the bodega itself. So what's unique about the 25? We start getting into the very specific cask finishes that really separate us from a lot of the other Scotch producers because of Richard Patterson's relationship with all these beautiful producers around the world.
And I think that makes a big difference. The cask selection, and it's not just the wood that they're using, it's what's been in the wood, how long it's been in there, how long you guys let it sit in that wood to absorb some of those flavor profiles.
I'm glad you actually brought that up because one of the unique things about the Dalmore is we use a 30-year-old Solera system sherry cask from the Tusa Oloroso. So this is coming from the bodega Gonzales Baez. What's unique about it is we actually have the exclusive rights to use these barrels outside of any other Scotch producer in the world. So they're 30-year-old barrels that have been used for sherry, and then we actually have the rights to use these things. If you want to equate it down to the significance of this, a lot of Scotch producers will actually have their whiskey or sherry casks seasoned. So they'll actually buy casks, take them down to bodegas, have them seasoned between 3 and 12 years, however long they want to actually have them seasoned for, and then they're shipped back. Our barrels are coming specifically from the bodega in the light that they were originally produced, which is for sherry, which is it's incredibly hard to consistently do something like that.
Right.
And it's also very, very expensive.
I would imagine. But it makes a difference, right? I mean, there's a reason why you do it.
So there's a reason why the Dalmore has a particular reputation and taste outside of a lot of other Scotch producers in the world.
We're not arguing with it.
So now
That's
that
one of our favorites.
I've let this sit in front of you for a little
I
while.
know. I keep buying it. It's killing me.
I told you I was going to let you stare at it.
So how long did it sit in its first fill? So the first bourbon barrels were how many years?
We're looking anywhere between 15 to 20 years.
20 years in first.
Yeah, and then
it was split between the 3 others?
Yeah, split between the 3 others.
Okay.
And then eventually married back together again to have this beautiful dram. I don't want to hurt myself, right?
I want to hear from the expert on what we should be tasting.
So what's unique that I find with a lot of whiskeys, at least my personal...
you want to join in?
We're getting dirty looks from across the camera. What I find, especially being a first and foremost a whiskey fan, I find that traditionally my comfort zone is around 15-year Scotch whiskey. A lot of times because it doesn't have as much of the actual tannic or wood characteristic that's just going to dominate the actual liquid itself. So what's unique about this 25 is it is very bright. You know, that Aqvavitae port wine barrel, the tawny port barrels that we're using, the Glenmorangie port pipe that we're using, they're going to give you some beautiful white, beautiful colors, like nice fig, almost like beautiful, nice, like ripe plum. And then you'll also get some beautiful vanilla and caramel characteristics that are going to be coming from the bourbon cask barrels. And then you've got the Palomino Fino, which is going to give you just this beautiful, bright, almost like rose characteristics, almost like a rose water with just a touch of sweetness.
No, so we were just drinking the King Alexander, and that's so much rich ruby, and that this is
brighter.
Right, it's light.
You wouldn't get this bright of a whiskey from a 25-year-old whiskey. So I find this is such a unique.
So you take that old Scotch and you brighten it with your finishes to kind of.
We grind it in different types of sherry and also port casks to kind of give it that rich, beautiful, bright flavor. Because we don't want the tannics to take over, but we also want to showcase the uniqueness of having something that's been sat for 25 years.
So what are you getting on the nose? I'm getting that
it's
sherry.
a lot of, it's almost fruit cakey. It's got the vanilla, but it's got those bright fruit notes to it that is just outstanding. I like everything about this.
This is one of those whiskeys that you can sit here and you can just nose it for 20 minutes without ever having to.
You know, that was the other thing that I noticed was a lot of times you'll pour a little bit in a glass, you'll nose it, you'll get some initial odors out of the glass, and then some of that initial stuff goes away as it oxidizes and some other things open up. This is just a really dense, powerful nose. And it has, I mean, it really hasn't changed a whole lot since we've been sitting here.
That initial, as it initially rolls over my tongue, I get just this light sherry. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not like a heavy, peated. No, definitely not peated. I mean, there's none of that heaviness in it. It's light. But the flavor is. Oh, what is the ABV on this?
42.
42%.
It's only 42%. So it's got great potency of flavor for that.
Yeah, it does.
Well, that potency of flavor that you were talking about is also something unique about Scotch whiskey. Because in Scotland versus if you go to the United States and bourbon country, ethanol alcohol drops in Scotland as it gets older versus in bourbon country it goes up because the alcohol evaporates quicker in a moist, obviously, barrels to the ground type environment. So with this particular whiskey, especially when you get older whiskey, they'll actually have older whiskey that drop below proof that they add to the liquid itself to kind of bump up the proof. So you're getting more of a natural strength versus a barrel strength. Now, obviously, to keep a consistent 42%, we do have to add some water here and there.
Right.
But we're getting more of the actual flavors from the maturation versus adding water to kind of get it. So this is why this is like, it's just, there's so much aroma, there's so much just ripe fig, there's beautiful ripe berries like blackberries and raspberries. And you also get just like this beautiful, almost like fresh rose.
It's an amazing glass. It really is. And not like any other older whiskey. Usually you get over a 20-year-old whiskey, you're getting more deep, heavy flavors, I guess you would say.
It's like that tannic wood.
Yeah, and this has a lot of bright color to it, I guess.
So we're here, for those of you who just joined us, we're here with Ben Boice, brand ambassador, Dalmore. He has given us a privilege of tasting the Dalmore 25 that is out on the market right now, running around $1,200 a bottle, and we get a taste of it.
I gotta start you guys off on a good step.
You're gonna spoil us. That's all you're gonna do.
We go downhill from here.
Well, gentlemen, as they say in Gaelic, they say slanchaba.
Slancha.
And thank you for bringing this. It's amazing. Well, we probably need to let you get back to your table. How many people are they expecting at this thing today? Do you know?
That is a good question. I honestly don't know. I just know that most whiskey fests, if it's anything with the parking lot shows, we got a line waiting out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So.
And we got the high rollers coming in right now. So
Exactly. Got to go get some bottle sales on this one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for your time. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to having you guys come by when you have a moment.
Absolutely. I will be stopping by to see you. You have a great lineup. We can't help it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, guys. So there you go. Dalmore 25. How are you going to argue with that?
And you know what we're dealing with here is these guys are jealous because they didn't get a class.
Where's our gram? What the hell?
What gram?
I didn't see anything.
I'm empty.
Is it clean? It has to be clean. I'll give it to you. So I haven't been. So the ability to taste this has taken us away from comments. I'm not sure what's up. I see Aqvavitae's on, Remaster. So we just got the greatest opportunity to try this Dummies.
Beat that, man.
And we just had the King Alexander a second ago. You guys got to taste it online.
I'm watching you.
So we just took a bottle. So
That's all right. We already got a little taste. They better bring a little bit back. But, that's one of the cool things about coming to something like this is you get to talk to people like that have in-depth knowledge. They can tell us about what's going on. Plus, you get to hit up people that love the whiskey. Are you coming on here? Come on here.
Look what we got here.
Everybody, welcome to Dennis Lynch.
So this guy gave us the opportunity to be here.
And we actually took it. So why wouldn't we? Smile right there. That little bitty thing, that's all you need.
Yeah.
So this gentleman organizes and orchestrates all of this. This is your 9th year, right?
9th year, yeah. This is a big undertaking, but it's a great show.
We're lucky to get him even 5 minutes of his time because he's got the microphone in his ear.
He's a busy guy.
Busy guy, and I got a little drop of bourbon in here right now. I'll be back. I'll drink some scotch. But
we're glad to be here. It's awesome. Yeah, good. Well, we're going to be here for 4 hours.
Some really good scotches, right? You've seen.
Oh my God!
I saw your video last night. I thought that was awesome.
We have
some good hits. And
our road crew already went through and figured out which bottles he wants to buy later. So
I know you don't have a whole lot in there, but hey, cheers to the episode, right?
Thank you, sir.
He'd be a great client to have on.
Really?
No, seriously.
Thank you.
We love having people on. So there's probably, I don't know, 50, 75 guests in this room, not counting all of the people actually pouring at the table. Maybe 100.
Easily.
And this is just the VIP portion of this expo. So it gets more and more packed as the evening goes on. And in fact, some of these people just come in for the VIP just to try some things out. How are you doing, sir?
Very good.
I'm Sean. This is Andrew.
I'm Andrew.
How are you guys?
We're good. So we've got people on from Scotland, from Germany.
Really?
Yeah, all over the world.
What kind of numbers? Do you have any idea?
It fluctuates quite a bit, and it's still kind of early depending on which part of the country you're in.
Sure.
So it'll build, and then it'll drop back down, and so I'm guessing we'll have. We're hoping for at least 100 over the course of the evening.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking?
Actually, I have some High West, the Campfire, which is a blend of bourbon and Scotch and maybe a rye.
We've got 2 bottles of that on our bar at home.
Yeah, the Campfire right across the street there. The High West Campfire. Yeah, that's a good stuff.
So is there a couple of whiskeys that you're here to actually sample that you have to have before you leave?
Well, most of the VIPs are pretty high quality. I'm being selective, though. I'm not hitting anything that isn't bourbon or Scotch. And that's unfortunate because there's some other great products and spirits here, but it's just that's my sweet spot. So.
Well, and once you start tasting over 15 or 20, you start to lose the palate and.
Yeah, I'm sipping really light. In fact, I was looking for a spittoon, but I haven't found one.
Well, so all the tables have a red bucket you can dump in.
Well, I'm dumping the extra, but I'm thinking about putting it back in my glass because I think I'll last longer.
Yeah, that's the problem. Did you Uber here?
I didn't, but I may well be Ubering home, depending how the spitting goes.
I think that's going to be a lot of people tonight, actually. That was us last year.
Well, the weather's great. I'm looking forward to just getting
sit outside for a little while beforehand before the doors open, and this is the best night of the week, weather-wise, that we've had. So
it's kind of
the Lord's shining on the buying table at Montage.
They did, yeah, they did great job.
But I mean, God made whiskey possible, so it's not surprising He'd look kindly on this event.
The sun shines on the Whisky Expo. It's rainy
Just a wee bit.
And we'll take every bit we can get.
Nice to meet you.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for coming. Take advantage of that VIP time.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
This is my first rodeo.
So when we came last year, we were just VIP guests. And a lot of this comes down to you've got to have a game plan. Because if you don't have a specific list of whiskeys that you're walking in to taste, there's far too many for you to make it through all of them. You're going to end up either missing something that you really should have tried, or you're going to burn out your palate before you get to things that you really wanted to taste. So, you know, without a plan coming in here, it makes it very difficult. And up until the doors open, really Dennis is working up to the last minute, orchestrating what's going on to make sure that everybody gets in. We were one of the first people in today. We got here about 3 o'clock. And, you know, they'd had some whiskeys out. Most of the tables were empty. That last half hour, 45 minutes was kind of a madcap rush to get everything in. But it was kind of cool to watch the behind the scenes. That was kind of nice. But some of the products that we thought were going to be here, I noticed they didn't have, but there were substitute products. So, I mean, you know, people are mixing and matching stuff. There's just things that come up, and you have to change it on the fly. But it's an amazing amount of whiskey and bourbon. It's awesome. So
guys, it's getting time for next guest. By the way, if you haven't seen him yet, Telex is here.
Oh, there's Telex.
Yeah, we're going to bring him on in just a moment. So it is a minute or two. So I'm going to introduce Roy. Roy, are you standing by? I think he's there.
I'm not hearing Roy.
Maybe it's the wrong ear.
Are you in, Roy?
I am here.
Oh,
there he is. Hey, Roy.
I'm mute. How's it going?
How are you boys?
We're going well. I got a little sample of what was this again? 25.
Dalmore
25.
42% ABV. We had a great opportunity. It's not dry, so we have to
Yeah. So it's already, the chaos is already letting in. People are stopping us. We've got some fans over here. We got Telex. It's going to go in a minute. People are just, it's crazy. Hopefully the audio is still there. So.
Yeah, that's one thing I did check. I did check to make sure that we're still getting clean audio. And there's a lot of background noise, but you can still hear us clean.
So what's up, Roy? How's it going?
Really well. Are we manually switching the camera backwards and forwards? Yes. So
yeah, we're switching back.
I like a little pauses. Yeah, really well. I've been watching. The sound is pretty good actually, considering how many people you're going to have mulling around in that room behind you there, right? So you're sounding pretty good, guys. And if you're sipping a Longmorn 25, you shouldn't be caring about anything else.
It's getting there.
Yeah, so that was a beauty. So we just had the brand ambassador on. I don't know if you saw the brand ambassador for Dalmore talking through this. They take this in their initial fill of bourbon cask, and they split it into these really light sherry and wine casks that just give it a bright taste. So you almost never get a 25-year Scotch. It has that level of brightness. And just a little bit left.
I know. Just sipping on it a little bit, right?
That's all I can do.
So have you had this before, Roy?
Or have you had any of this, any Dalmore 25 yet?
I think we lost him. Is it talking?
So our first technical difficulty of the night.
Yeah, I don't hear Roy.
Roy was there, but we lost him for now.
I'm still here. I'm just staying quiet until I get queued in.
We just queued you in, so we're just curious to see if you've had the Dalmore 25 before.
What do we got on?
Yeah. So Mike's switching over to when we ask the question. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah?
Yeah. So go ahead and go.
Okay, sorry, have you asked me a question?
How many glasses have you had already, Roy?
Yeah, I'm on my second, but
It's getting late in Scotland right now.
And this is still at 25.
Oh, you got big
Hey,
more.
get the hell away from me.
So we were asking if you have tried the Dalmore 25 yet.
no, I have not. I've tried. I think the oldest Dalmore I've tried would be the Dalmore 18.
Well, I can tell you that the 25 is.
If I'm right, I think one of your favorite whiskies is a Dalmore, right? The King Alexander.
So we started with the Dalmore King Alexander just to kick it off before 5 o'clock, and that was the rich fruit, heavy fruits going on here. But then when we got to the 25, it just was so much lighter, just really potent for what I was thinking. I was expecting a heavier. It's only 43% ABV, so a lot of our watchers would say, "Oh, I don't need to go near that." But something about it, it has really strong flavor.
The 25 is really good, really. But it's the Scotch we're talking, so.
So what do you say we bring on Telex to say hi to Roy?
Yeah. Hold on, let me grab him.
Yeah, let me squeeze in here real quick. So it's getting hot in here too.
It is getting hot here. That's all right. So what are you drinking, Roy?
Well, I'm sitting here. I looked through the pour list for your festival that you have there, and I tried to find a couple of things that I had at home. So I've got a couple of Glenmorangies here. I've got the 15, and I've got the cask strength 10-year-old, the 57% ABV one. Gordon MacPhail right now, this 21-year-old. So, yes.
Is that a Gordon MacPhail?
A Gordon MacPhail Balblair, yes. 21.
Yeah. Really good.
So,
Well, I could probably go grab a bottle, a pour of the Ben Romick if we want to do some.
There's a bottle I took a picture of earlier. Burnt toast, baby.
Yeah.
yeah, you've got the Glenmorangie 10 there. You've got the cask strength 10-year-old. You've got the 15. So you've got a good selection of Glenmorangies there. And Glenmorangies for me are one of these kind of Renaissance type whiskies. They're getting really, really quite good. Some of them actually remind me a little bit of Springbank in terms of flavor profile.
Interesting.
But they're really wonderful whiskies. I was at an event a couple of weeks ago with the Glenmorangie guy, and yeah, it went down really, really well. Some great whiskies coming out of there under Gordon MacPhail's stewardship. So it's certainly a table you should visit and spend a little bit of time with.
Well, I'm going to have to find it. Do you know what table that is?
I'm going to do it right now.
Actually, I'm interested. I'll go look that up and see what's, we'll get something that Roy's got that we can sample with. So I heard 10 cask strength and a 15. Is that what you got, Roy?
Yes, so I'll show you the 10 is a 57% ABV version of the 10-year-old. All natural colour, all natural presentation, really quite nice bottle. And the 15-year-old as well. The 15-year-old is wonderful, really wonderful. It's got really some nice earthy, meaty notes to it. Quite a mulchy flavour.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a can. Ben Romick 15. Man, I don't want to queue.
Well, yeah, bring back some. I'm gonna get Telex on here. We'll get him talking about.
He's doing VIP. I told him to come back a little bit.
Come back, but never mind. We'll get him a little bit.
So we were gonna.
They're
have
actually
Telex on,
overwhelmed with the number of whiskeys that are here.
Right. One of our subscribers flew in from Maryland. You guys probably all know him from chiming in, but he's running around here, and I think he's having a problem picking his jaw up off the floor.
Pretty much. Yeah, they came in with a plan, and I think the plan kind of fell apart a little bit.
We'll talk to you in a little bit, Scotch. We got whiskey to drink.
I sent him on. I was like, come back and see us with all the, the VIP stuff. So you don't want to miss it.
Hey, Roy, I don't know if you've noticed the commenters that are on, but do you know Scott Munro?
Scott is in the same city as me. We have, for the second time, we've agreed that we should hook up for a dram one day, but it's not happened yet. But I've known Scott for years on social media. On Instagram, he does fantastic Instagram feed, Scott. He's got a really good eye for a fantastic picture. He doesn't just share pictures of whiskey. So, and I think he lives, I think Scott's in the West End and I'm in the East End. So that's going to mean that we're going to have to hit each other up in the city centre. What do you say, Scott? The pot still maybe?
That's not a good enough excuse. I mean, you're all the way in Scotland, and Drew and I hooked up with you from the States.
That's right. That's right. No, we'll remedy that, won't we, Scott?
There you go.
We've got quite a few in. We've got George Kaplan's in. Saltire Hoagie Bears, obviously. You've spoken to him already. So I've already said to the guys, if they want to hit me up with any questions, and I'll just kind of monitor the comments coming in so that you guys can speak to your ambassadors and things. And if there are any cool questions come in, I'll hit you with them when I get a chance.
Now,
we got a guy that walked by, he's wearing a YouTube t-shirt, says Windy City Taste.
more YouTube people are. Yeah, it's getting nuts in there.
It is getting nuts. There's a lot of people. And, you know, to be honest with you guys, to set the stage, right now during this VIP session, I don't really expect a lot of people to stop by our table because they pay extra for these higher-end whiskeys. And I know if I were in their shoes, I would be, you know,
it's a limited time only. You got to get to what you want to try.
Right. And most people show up to this, or at least last year we even did this, you know, they do their homework and they really kind of plan out what they're going to do and how they're going to maximize their time. So,
well, you know, the cool thing is even when the VIP's over, the people pouring know who the VIPs are by the glass that they get.
That's
true. So the VIPers, you get these glasses, right? And the regular people get like a rocks glass.
I wish we had Roy here. We could walk him around the room and see how many people are butchering the names of these bottles.
Here he comes.
Okay, well, here you go.
There you go.
I'm going to step out because I don't have a pour of this. So.
We should go get a pour of something then, dude.
Yeah, well, you and I will go get a pour of something.
That sounds like a great idea.
Right there, right through the door.
All right, we'll take this one.
All right. So we got it. Glenmorangie 15.
We're drinking with you, Roy.
Oh, it smells more.
What do you have? What did Mark bring back?
This is the Glenmorangie 15.
Yeah.
Superb. That's what I have.
Exactly.
That's why he went and got it.
That's why I went and got it. We had almost anything we could drink.
We're going to smell with you and nose with you. So,
This is a fantastic way to shrink the Atlantic Ocean, don't you think?
Yeah, it's amazing. How do you do this?
we just shrunk.
So I'm getting a little bit of that 25-cent glass of drink.
I got a lot of honey.
I get a little tartness in the nose.
A little grapefruit.
Sea, wine, and some salt.
Right, what you got in your nose?
For me, this is a very, there's quite an agricultural note to this. I mean, it's quite rich, dark honey, so, you know, not like a clear honey, but the kind of, I don't know, one of these kind of heavier, sickly, sweet honeys. But there's quite an agricultural note on it, almost like autumnal wet leaves and things like that, which doesn't really sound like it would be very nice. But I get that in Springbank, I get it in Dalmore, I get it in Highland Park as well, and it is quite a nice flavour once you get a taste for it. It's kind of I think in America you would call it a funk or a funky smell, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
you getting that?
Yeah.
When I think about when the flavor rushes in my palate, my initial thought is like a rye whiskey, kind of almost a sour.
Yes. Like a sour, and it's quite thick for me. It's very reminiscent of kind of thick cut marmalade. Like you guys, I think you call it marmalade as well, right? It's
I'm not getting it sweet. When I think of marmalade, I think more of that orange peel and sweetness. And this is more of a little more to sour.
Yeah. I've got definitely the honey, a little bit of sweetness, but I'm with you on the kind of like the fall leaves, like the when you go outside and it rained a little bit, the mist in the ground, the leaves have already fallen. That's what I'm smelling right now. That kind of the harvest.
Yeah. It smells like fall.
It smells like fall.
Yeah.
On the palate.
Yeah. So it's the nose is sweet, and I get the honey right when you initially goes over the tongue. After that, it kind of fades into more of that It's very different than what we had. So we started out with some really great scotches, but this is smooth. I don't know the ABV on this. We didn't have the bottle here, so.
Well, Sam, on the 15-year-old, the ABV here is 43. Probably the same where you are. Probably the same.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting finish. Sweet, and some more on the palate, taste some more flavors here, but very nutty finish, like hazelnut, almost almond, marzipan, maybe even peanuts a little bit. A little dry, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite drying on the finish. You know, you can taste that there's some kind of probably some Oloroso casks in there, a nice spicy drying finish. For me, that kind of sour marmalade is still lingering around, the orange peel. There's a puff of smoke as well.
See,
quite pronounced on the finish.
I noticed that puff of smoke. Now, the thing that I struggled with here is they just gave me a tiny pour. And so I wasn't able to let it roll over my tongue as much as I would like. But the last one, I basically finished it, and that's when I got the marmalade. So you have to kind of saturate your palate to get the marmalade out. And then I just did it.
It's definitely dry. And my cheeks are just getting sucked in from the dryness of it. It's I like it though, but the dryness is almost overwhelming a little bit for me on the back.
Yeah, so I tend to like more of a longer finish with more flavors. So there is a bit of that heat on the finish.
A tad, yeah.
I think if you're being fair to a Benromac 15, you're following a Longmorn 25, am I right?
I'm sorry?
You're following a Longmorn 25.
Yes.
Longmorn is one of my favourite distilleries, especially if you can find them. It was who's the 25 from? Is it an independent or is it an official?
I don't know.
I don't know. Longmorn's a wonderful distillery, and a Longmorn 25 would be quite a fabulous dram. So it's quite a hard act to follow there, I think.
This is a good glass. I'm absolutely having a lot. We're here to give one of our rankings on a tiny pour with very little. This is a high 2.5, maybe a 3. If I had more time to sit with it, if I could get a better sip on it, probably would bring that sweetness up and probably give me a good much better taste.
So there's a comment for you, Roy, from everyone. I can't read the whole thing. Something about the whiskey distilleries, Springbank and Farkas. I'm not sure if you can see that or not.
Okay, Everwind says, I have a question for Aqva. Has all the whiskey distilleries being owned by big conglomerates changed whiskey versus the traditional distillers like Springbank and Glenfarclas? Okay, so I think what everyone is asking there is, how does the whiskey differ from one of the big companies, I guess, like a Diageo or a Pernod Ricard versus an independent like Springbank or Glenfarclas? And yeah, there is a difference. I would say that in the pursuit of production and efficiencies and things like that, there's an argument. There are folk out there that feel that whiskey has become a wee bit homogenized. And there are distilleries out there like Springbank and Glenfarclas that still have an active manual hand in the process. And yeah, I mean, you know what? Whiskey has changed dramatically over the years, and you only need to go back and try one of these old whiskies from the 70s or even the 60s if you're fortunate enough to realize just how much whiskey has changed. Has it got worse? Well, we're in a golden time of whiskey where there's fabulous variation like there's never been before. The quality is very high. I would say that yes, I love Springbank. I love what they're doing. They're very consistently good, and you can taste, to my palate, you can taste the traditional manual element in their whiskey.
You're talking about a golden time, Roy. When we were visiting with you and you took us to the second Scotch Malt Whiskey Society location, the one on Queen Street, I believe it was, they had some open bottles that weren't SMWS bottles, and you spotted one right off the bat, and we're like, "That's it. We're getting that bottle." I would have never spotted that bottle. Tell me that story. Why did you do that?
Well, by the time we were on Queen Street, we'd had a lot of whiskey, right? So what I wanted to do was to go in a different direction, because we'd been drinking cask strength whiskies, right? So we needed some food, we needed to rehydrate a little bit, and we needed just to relax and take it back. So what I found was, I found a 1970s Glengoyne and a 1980s Glengoyne. The 70s was an 8-year-old and the 80s was a 10-year-old. And you might remember we tried them back to back.
Right.
And they don't taste anything like a modern Glengoyne. They really don't. Now, is that to say that a modern Glengoyne is not good quality? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But things were different back then. You know, everything from yeast to how the spirit's condensed, everything has changed. The barley strain has changed. Everything has changed. But what we tasted when we tried those Glengoynes, quite interestingly, was this idea that whiskey is stable when it's in glass is false, because whiskey still ages in glass. It changes over time. And what we tasted, I don't know if you guys remember, because we'd all had quite a few, but what we tasted in those old Glengoynes, we tasted old bottle effect. You know, old bottle aging. We tasted a different flavor in the whiskey.
It was. I would have never picked it. And I remember distinctly when you got it. The bartender point blank laughed that you picked the best one up there, because the way they were doing that was how did they do that? Those weren't SMWS bottles. They picked them up at auction somewhere and they just share them with members, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. They gave the whiskey writer Charles McLean, they gave him £1,000 just to go out and buy whiskies at auction. It might have even been more money than that, actually, because we bought quite a few. And they just went to auction and bought all sorts of old whiskies so they could stock them in SNWS and Queen Street and serve them by the dram, which is a wonderful idea.
How friggin' fun is that, right? I mean,
Go do that, John.
Yeah, that was cool. So Sean and I stepped in here because while we were off camera, we grabbed a dram to keep us busy, and we decided...
We grabbed 2 drams. We brought one back.
Yeah, it was a wee nip of the Ben Romick 7. No, it was Ben Riach 17. We were just talking about Ben Romick. The Ben Riach 17 peated.
So we found out that they're probably going to be bringing back the
Solstice.
Really? I thought you had the Parliament.
We did. We poured the Parliament, the Glenmorangie 21 Parliament. Just look at the color of that whiskey. It smells absolutely amazing too.
And it's even better when you taste it.
I haven't even tasted it yet.
So you know, if you watch any of our reviews online, Glenmorangie is like we went through 5 or 7 Glenmorangies back to back.
And they're all good. The whole lineup is awesome. And this one belongs in that lineup.
Clearly, when they run their stills, they have a really good quality of their white dog, because every one of their expressions is good.
Well, we talked to the guy working the table, and he did have some good things to say about the future of all of the whiskey.
The Brown-Forman purchased distillers.
The Brown-Forman acquisition. So things look good. I feel better that Solstice is going to.
They're actually bringing in, what did he say, some 27-year Glenmorangie and some 40-year.
Well, he said the 27 is going to be about $1,100 a bottle.
Yeah, and the 40-year probably won't make it out of the New Jersey, New York area. Luckily, we know people that live in the New Jersey, New York area. So
that's Roy for some help on that.
I'm not sure what a 40-year-old Glenmorangie is going to go for, but you should probably start saving now.
The cool thing is, if you get a bottle of that, I'll be able to drink a Scotch that's older than you.
Really? You sure? I don't know about that.
Wow. No one bought.
You know what? At least we don't have to save up for a place in Scotland, because I've already secured us room and board there. Hint, hint, hint.
Yes. I have room for Sean and Andrew, but you guys need to go back to that hotel you were at.
Oh, look at he's smoozing these two.
Well, we didn't get to go last time.
That's right. You didn't get to go last time. That's right. So,
Now we've gotten to hear about it every single day since you guys got back.
What can I say? He's a good host.
That was a wonderful opportunity.
That was really fun.
Really cool because that was the Whiskey Fabric at work, and that was kind of social media at work. The fact that you guys have taken the step to put yourselves out there on YouTube suddenly meant that when you arrived in Scotland, there was somebody willing to kind of step up and meet you and make sure you were looked after and you were visiting the right places and things. And that's when kind of the digital age and whiskey working together is just very cool, I think.
You know, you say that, and I completely agree with you, Roy. But then I have to knock you and say, there's a guy that lives on the other side of town, and you know, and you haven't had a dram with him yet.
It's just no. The thing is that guy lives on the other side of town, and I would never have met that guy. He could have been the biggest whiskey head in Glasgow. But now, again, through you guys, the fabric is working again. So I'm not just hooking up with you guys in Indianapolis. I'm hooking up with guys that are in my own town. So there you go.
You know what? That's a good segue. Let's talk about the Whiskey Fabric.
Let's talk about it.
We're pushing them today too.
We are. We got a nice flyer we put out there. I think you've seen it, Roy. You're on there as well.
Throw it back up.
People are taking some of the flyers right now, and at the end of the day, it's just a big network, right? Let's talk about everybody on the network. We've got Scotch Test Dummies, Whiskey Whistle, Whiskey in the Six, Trinity and C. Who else, guys? I can't read it. Bob and the Beard.
Man Cave.
Malton Man Cave. Yep.
There you go.
And Malton Montreal. Yep. And Whiskey Deck. So we're all part of this big fabric. Roy, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think what you've listed there is actually just a small selection of the YouTube element of the Whiskey Fabric, right? So what's happening now is that there's this huge community starting to form in around these social media platforms, focusing on whiskey. And YouTube, that's really growing. I mean, I think we have to kind of give Ralphie a shout out because he started it all for everyone, right? In terms of the YouTube platform. But lots of people, lots of commentators, anybody that kind of wants a creative outlet for their passion in whiskey are suddenly taken to YouTube because whiskey drives people to do that, right? But the Whiskey Fabric reaches way beyond YouTube. It reaches into all the other social media platforms through the distribution network, the supply chain, the clubs that are up and down the countries everywhere, guys that are setting up their own tastings in their own houses, you know. Whiskey is just a fabulous way of connecting people, of getting people together. And what you realize is that it becomes a drink, not just for drinking, but something, you know, to savor and sit and connect people.
To share.
I think it does it very well.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's why we started. We were sitting together drinking Scotch, and the beauty of that is you get to enjoy it because you can talk about it. And then you talk about what's going on with your family. And then you talk about what's going on at work. And then you taste another Scotch, and you taste another talk more about the Scotch. And it's that social aspect of sitting together, talking about Scotch, talking about life. That is why we got online to say, hey, let's share this. Let's do this with others. Let's give some people advice on how to buy your Scotch because I don't like that. I like peated. I don't like sweet. I don't like sweet. I don't like smoke. And so we give people the opportunity to sit with us, drink a glass of Scotch, discuss it, and we do it together.
Yeah, I think it's pretty apparent that when we do our show, it's literally, okay, guys, we're drinking tonight. Let's cut that bottle right there. Sounds good. Who's talking? Mark's talking. Boom. It doesn't change whether it's live, whether it's a video we're recording, or we're just drinking together. Guys, we drink tonight? Yep, I'm over the bar. It's the same thing. So what you're seeing, folks, is reality for us. We're not paid by anybody. We don't get anything. It's just we want to share, have fun, and at the end of the day, it's kind of our motto is pull up, share up to the bar, and enjoy a drink with us. And Roy, like you said, I think that's kind of your mission right now as well. Is just passionate about the sharing factor of it and enjoy it with the friends.
Right, and now that we've met up with all these folks, honestly, we talk to them every day. You know, whether it's talking to Roy or Rob up Canada, Scott up in Kansas. We're talking to these folks every day. They become friends of ours. They're part of our network. And we've shared many things with them, whether it's training or advice. I don't know. I think that the whole fabric thing, the whole social piece of it is really fun, and I'm really glad we've gotten involved in it. So, yeah. Hey, before we move on, though, Roy, there was a question that someone posed specifically to you. I have to scroll through. I think they wanted to know.
Yeah, there's a couple of things coming in. One of the guys, Jez, pointed out that it wasn't a Longhorn 25 you had, it was a Dalmore. That could be my mistake.
Yeah, it was Dalmore.
It was Dalmore.
Dalmore, right. And somebody's asked me Glengoyne versus Glendronach. I think they're both fabulous. Glengoyne will always hold a special place in my heart because that's where my whiskey journey started. It's a local distillery to me. And Scott Monroe's asked, Aqvavitae made a great point in one of his whiskey's best when shared. Absolutely. And one of the point I made about it, and it's another fantastic thing about YouTube, is that sometimes you don't have that opportunity to meet up with your whiskey friend or your whiskey friend. Sometimes you're just sitting at home on your own. You can still share whiskey, because if you plug into the YouTube search bar any dram you like, there's a good chance that one of you guys have reviewed it. And you can sit and enjoy that dram kind of virtually with somebody else, and it is very, very effective, because you're not getting everything out the dram, and then if it's you guys, there's 4 of you sitting around getting things out of the dram, and you suddenly, maybe by the power of suggestion, sometimes of course, but that's all part of it, you can just get so much more enjoyment out of the dram.
Okay, someone's walking by saying they're trying to get somebody on here to go blind taste. So we might have to throw one of those in here just for some fun. Of course, I think they're both Scotch heads. We'll throw bourbon at them and see what happens.
Exactly.
So we're going to close this out, guys, in a second and take a 15-minute break. But Roy, obviously, thank you for not just for being with us, but thank you for being there in Scotland for Mark and I, being a friend online. I think that a lot of us look up to you, whether you like it or not. I think you've just been a big inspiration for all of us. And if you have not had a chance to see his latest video, it's spot on to me with just in reality of the people I've met. You know, we've got people that enjoy Scotch and have a good, they like it, right? They drink it wherever they want to drink it. And then you have people that really want to get into Scotch, understand it, and smell it, and really appreciate it. And he's got a great video talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm glad the camera wasn't on me then, because you made me blush just then. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. And it's very mutual. Thank you as well. It's a pleasure to have met you guys. Well, 2 of you anyway. And I already feel like I've met Andrew and Sean, but I haven't yet. But it will happen, guys. It will happen. Hopefully this side of the water.
Yeah, if you've met Mark and Drew, you kind of met us, because it's amazing how we're alike, but we're different as well. We got our own personalities, but we all like Scotch. We all like
It's at the end of the day, it's on our wheelhouse.
We do have our own personality.
By the way, wheelhouse. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Roy, thanks, buddy. We'll be back. Thanks for sharing.
Enjoy the show. Have a blast.
We'll be back in 15 minutes. Everybody look for another link. It'll be a new stream.
Yeah, we'll do a new live stream in a few minutes.
All right.